Have you ever tried to cut open a baseball to see what's inside? You probably found that the baseball was too tough to break. But today, we're going to look at what really makes up a baseball, down to the elements. We're also going to explore how these elements and compounds make the baseball so effective for the sport. A baseball is comprised of a rubber core, which is usually synthetic, a leather binding, and a yarn stitching made out of braided cotton. First, let's take a look at what elements make up rubber. Rubber is made up of oxygen, carbon, and imidogen, a compound containing nitrogen and hydrogen. Next is the leather binding. But before leather can be used on baseballs, it must be tanned. Leather is tanned in order to retain the same qualities it had when it was on a living animal. Some of these qualities include its softness, flexibility, and toughness. All of these are essential in a baseball. The tanner used for leather is made up of oxygen and hydroxide. Hydroxide contains hydrogen and oxygen. And last, there is the yarn stitching. The cotton used in yarn is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So what makes these elements so effective in baseballs? Something they have in common is that they are all nonmetals. Nonmetals have many advantages, including being less dense than metals, being insulators, which means they do not conduct electricity, making them safer, and they are dull, which means they won't reflect light during a game. Since all of these elements are nonmetals, they form covalent bonds, which is the bonding of two or more nonmetals. Covalent bonds are known to be the strongest out of the three types of bonds: ionic, covalent, and metallic. This is great in a baseball, since they have to withstand being hit with a bat hundreds of times a day. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.